Yeah.
It is now 6:45, and we will begin the Citizens Forum for the July 1st, 2014 Board of Mayor and Aldermen Meeting. We do have several on the list for Citizens Forum, so everybody please be patient. And this is being televised live, and I do ask people to please be respectful to one another. First on our list is Mr. Robert Parker.
Good evening, Mayor and Alderman. I'm here to speak on the proposed apartments on the Blair Road project. I am against it. I think it's going to be a terrific safety hazard as far as that goes. I think it'd be better as an R1. I know when I come out of my driveway, it's 250 Blair Road, many times I have to watch out for the cars that run the stop sign out of Woodsong, and the cars flying along in a hurry to get the kids to school or wherever else they're going. It's been a burden trying to do that. It's also used, Blair Road is also used as an alternative when I-24 is backed up. It's just a constant stream of cars coming through there. I'm sure you're well aware of it. There are no shoulders on Blair Road. There's a narrow bridge that's had the guardrail knocked down once by a red truck going off of it. There's been 2 to 3 or possibly more trucks or vehicles that run off the edge of the pavement and overcorrect and go off into the drop-off there on the top of the hill on Blair Road. Plus one motorcycle rider was killed there on Blair Road, crossing Blair Oaks. So as you can see, it can be a deadly road. I think by putting 1,000 cars or trucks or whatever it may be on that road in addition to what's there now is going to cause severe problems down the road. I don't think the way it's planned now, where you got 2 turn lanes right in front of the apartment complex, is going to help anything. It's going to make things worse. And, I think it'll lower our property values. I also don't understand how the zoning has been applied throughout the past years, but that's neither here nor there. That's about it. I'm really opposed to it. Most of the people I talk to are opposed to it. I think it should be defeated and ended at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Parker. Jason Cole.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Alderman. I'm coming actually to thank y'all for the Lake Forest Park build, spearheading that, and bringing basically a promise that was made to many residents and the community, basically to fulfillment. It may have taken a while, but it got taken care of. And I wanted to come up here and tell y'all thank you. Thank you to all the city employees who came out and helped and all the volunteers. Thank you.
Thank you for helping as well. Number 3, Judd Scott.
I'm speaking also in opposition to the apartment complex rezoning. As I understand this traffic study, it's saying that the traffic on Blair Road will be doubled, basically, with no consequences to the residents that are there now. As you know, Blair Road is a very narrow, crooked road with no shoulders. And I can't believe that doubling the traffic on that road will not have a significant impact on the safety. And the other comment that I would make is that it appears that this traffic study was prepared for the builder of the apartment complex, which it would seem to me that a traffic study should be conducted by the city rather than by the developer. Thank you.
Becky Pollitt.
I'm also here about the Blair Road project. I live at 8041 Burntwood Drive. And Blair Road was originally an old 2-lane country road that is windy, that has drop-offs, and has 2 very dangerous curves. From my back door, you can actually see if there's any flurries whatsoever. There are cars that go off before they hit the curve. And there's also a bunch of houses that access Blair Road, but they can't even get around the curve. So, I mean, I just think that, you know, putting in 2 lanes is it's not gonna fix the problem on Blair Road with all the additional cars and everything. Plus, you're gonna have additional kids, and the kids are gonna have additional bus stops, and I just can't imagine that if you know, for whatever reason, you know, there's a wreck there, because there's been numerous wrecks at the curve there. I've seen Mr. Parker almost get hit a couple of times pulling out of his driveway, because from either side, when you hit those curves, there is no vision until you absolutely get right up on the curve, especially turning left out of Vineyard. I mean, if somebody's coming around that curve, I mean, they don't know you're there until they get right on. And I mean, I just don't think adding all of those apartments and everything is going to be beneficial for the community or anything, that as far as the traffic's concerned, without doing something all the way from Waldron, a widening project down Blair Road to straighten out some of those curves and put some additional easements off on the side, because I mean, it's going to be a bad traffic situation. Thank you.
Steve McGill.
Thank you. I'm also here to speak against the Blair Road apartment project. I live at 177 Blair Road. My family has been there for about 35 years, so we've seen a lot of growth in the area. The road has not changed in the 35 years I've been there. So I cannot imagine how we're going to take another 1,000 cars a day on there. I don't think my pets can take another 1,000 cars a day. Some other concerns that we have are what our property value is going to do. I believe the area has enough apartments. I think if we look at what our sister cities have done with the Southeast Nashville, Antioch area, I don't believe apartments are the answer to growth. Apartments are the answer to destroying property values when you get too many of them. I know I've heard that these are going to be nice apartments, and again, like I said, we've been here 35 years. I may live another 30. I'm not looking at a 5-year horizon. I'm looking at a 30-year horizon. And in 30 years, there's not an apartment complex here that somebody's going to want to live in. That's just the nature of the beast. So as you make your decision on this, I'm also going to ask that you consider, are my property taxes going to be reduced for my lowered property values? And who's going to compensate me for that? Thank you.
Diane Sanders.
My name is Diane Sanders, and I live in Woodsong and serve on the Homeowners Association Board. I'm here not only as a resident, but also as a voice of the residents of Woodsong. We're extremely opposed to the rezoning of the property on Blair Road to anything other than R1. It's ludicrous to believe that the planned turn lanes alone are sufficient for additional 1,000+ vehicles on Blair Road. This traffic study doesn't seem to do anything or take anything into consideration except for cars entering and exiting the proposed development. We all know that Blair Road's very dangerous because it's narrow with curves and hills that limit visibility. There's not a shoulder at all and many ditches along the road. There are grooves in the asphalt from cars that have been pulled out of the ditch along one area. Blair Road is routinely used as a cut-through for Waldron Road I-24. My husband and I both use it, and so do many other residents in Woodsong, Ivy Point, Vineyard, Potts Crossings, Blair Oaks, and Laverne Mobile Home Park. I've personally witnessed multiple accidents on Blair Road. Most have involved cars running off the road because it's curvy and narrow. Recently, a van in front of me misjudged the side of the road. He went off. He was carrying a trailer. It snapped the tire right off the trailer and went flying back toward my car in the dark. The van was disabled on the road for well over an hour before police could respond, and it was on a blind curve, and people were just trying to have to do the best they could to get around it. Other wrecks have caused traffic to have to be diverted through Woodsong because the road is so narrow that it gets closed down completely. This puts residents in danger, not only from the increased traffic flow, but also if any kind of medical or emergency vehicles are needed to get through the neighborhood. The traffic has steadily increased on Blair Road since the verandas at Sam Ridley opened, Blair Oaks was built, and Woodsong development has continued. What has to happen for the city to see enough is enough? Does someone else have to die on this road? It would be worth a single life to have these 500 new apartments. I don't think the answer would be yes if it had to be someone's family member up here making these decisions. There are several other things that need to be considered as well. There's a very large tract of land near Walnut Ridge that is also zoned R3. There's a church planned to be built at Vineyard and Blair, and the verandas at Sam Ridley has not completed their retail development yet. Blair Road will be used as a thoroughfare for all the traffic from Waldron Road to Sam Ridley for all these projects once they're completed. The residents at Woodsong don't understand why the city wants so badly to build apartments rather than single-family homes in this area. We truly don't believe you're giving the impact of the rezoning enough thought. As a Laverne resident, and speaking for the other residents in Woodsong, we respectfully ask that you do not move forward with this development as planned. Thank you.
Cole Allison.
Cole Allison, I live in Woodsong, 3204 Potts Crossing. And just to reiterate that, I like to got hit pulling out of a Vineyard going really west to go fly RC planes. And I came up over the hill, and a car was in the ditch, an 18-year-old. I couldn't even get down there to help him. And I don't know if he died or not, but they were trying to get Lifeline there. And it was a single car. I don't know how many times cars have been around that road. And you know, the barrier that you got as you go around the big curb off of Blair, at the end of Blair, and where the apartment's going to be, that big curve, there was a guardrail that someone hit, and the guardrail stayed down, not fixed, 6 to 8 months. This traffic problem is huge. Please, please consider that. Enough on the traffic, because I think everybody's addressing that. The second thing is, I am concerned, the people in Woodsong are concerned about the direction that we're going as far as a master plan unit and how we protect the nicest part of the city. You yourself said to us, when we have businesses, we want to be able to bring them over here to Woodsong because it's a nice quality of life. And you supported us with the church, denying it. You supported us with the condos, 14 unit condos, and said it would be a slap in our face if I allowed condos to go there because of the quality of life and the homes that you got. And now we're looking at 504 apartments. I am confused. The people are confused. I don't know the direction that we're going. I've had more people call and say, what is going on? I stood up in front of them on the HOA and said, our new mayor, when I met with you, has our back and will preserve the quality of life in this community because I-24 coming into this is a good barrier to get to nice R1 homes. We are the Brentwood people in Laverne. Recognize that, please. We could be your biggest supporters. We can, but we can't if we don't get on the same page, and we just need a lot of questions answered. I mean, I want to hear them from you. The questions that I think is really comes up, 3 minutes up? I'm sorry, at some other time, may I at least get these questions so we have a good answer of where we're
You can
going?
call any of us anytime. I answer my phone. I'll be happy to meet with you anytime. And I'm sorry for the last name, Norma, is that Wintering? I'm sorry.
Good evening. I'm here as a new resident of Woodsong, and I have really enjoyed it. It's, as they've stated, it's a very wonderful place to live. I've also have a background in planning and zoning from my previous life, and I understand some of the situations there. But again, I think that we still do have to consider safety anytime, no matter how it looks on paper. Sometimes the safety is a real issue, and it has taken some getting used to get used to the streets here that are a little bit different from what we were used to. They've been nice because they don't have snow on them, but it has taken a little bit to get used to the no berms and things like that. So again, I think that that is an issue that is going to be made worse by putting an additional 1,000 cars on the road. Thank you.
All right, we are now complete with the citizens forum. We'll,
Mayor, I'm not on the board, I don't want to say anything, but may I speak for just 1 minute?
Will we have to sign up prior to this? I'm so sorry, but you're welcome to speak with us after the meeting, if that's okay.
That'd be fine, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, we will now call to order our regular meeting for July 1, 2014. We do have a quorum here tonight. Tonight, the prayer will be by Alderman Waldron, and the Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Alderman Green.
We pray tonight in the name of your Son, Jesus, your grace and blessing, we thank you. We pray to keep all of us safe and the brave men and women that is serving us here and across the world and their families at home. We thank you for the freedom that we all enjoy and keep us safe this 4th. Without your Son, Jesus, it wouldn't be possible. In Jesus' name, amen.
Face the flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I hope everyone had the opportunity. We have 3 different sets of minutes to approve tonight. Do I have a motion to approve or to deny these minutes?
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Department reports. Fire Department.
Mayor, Alderman, for the month of June 2014, had a total of 120 calls. Consisted of 1 structure fire, 22 fire alarms, 2 vehicle fires, 2 hazardous materials calls, 23 motor vehicle accidents, 52 medical calls, 10 emergency miscellaneous calls, and 8 non-emergency miscellaneous calls. The average response time for the month of June 2014 was 3.2 minutes, and the total water consumption for the month was 21,000 gallons. I also apologize, it's not up here tonight, and I'm assuming that it's on your laptops. We had a typo there, and you've got the wrong month at the top of your report, but the documentation underneath that is correct.
Okay.
Any questions?
Questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Police Department.
Honorable Mayor and Alderman, first I'd like to say Mike wants to send his apologies for not being able to be here tonight. The chief was having to go home to take care of some family business. And I just talked to him a short time ago, and things are okay at the moment. So we do not have a report again for this month. We just went live with our new product on the 16th. We're working through some issues. We've got some support from the vendor. They're here tonight as well. They're sitting in here to see if a couple of things get addressed this evening. We have, we've looked at our numbers. We're still reporting to the state with our 10 cop, as you've heard Chief Walker talk about. We'll still continue to do that for the meantime until we get some other things taken care of. From my understanding, I've talked to Chief McCormick. The fire software seems to be performing up to speed, and we're working through some other things like that and with our support staff. One of the other things I want to touch on was something that Mike wanted to address tonight. He wanted us to make sure that we remembered that this coming September is Childhood Cancer Awareness, and he had brought up something recently about a young lady who had passed, who had set up a foundation before her passing named Taylor, it's Filiori is what it is, and she wanted to set up a foundation so that the parents of children with cancer could have some type of benefit from that. What we're looking at doing, hopefully with Team LPD getting involved, maybe doing a benefit run, doing some things like that to help raise money for the foundation. The foundation is easy to find. It's on www.playfortay.com, and short for Taylor. And her tagline was "Tay it forward." She made she invoked that the fact that cancer is not going to strike her out, and she has done this. And you know that Chief Walker has a fond. He cares a lot about softball, cares a lot about the kids playing, and this is something that's near and dear to his heart, so he wanted to make sure I brought that up. That'll happen, it's going to happen September 6th and 7th. There's going to be a whole lot of donations and things made for the umpires, the people who are working, a lot of donated time, but anybody who wants to get involved with that can go to playfortay.com and find more about that and get involved in that. And I'm sure that if anybody wants to reach out to Chief Walker, he can fill them in on that as well. That's all we have tonight. Hopefully we'll have more this week. Luckily, we've been blessed with a limit of high impact incidents of late, so we've been able to focus on some other things. We did go through a TBI audit today. They were pleased with most of our stuff. They found a couple things, as they usually will, and it was not, we won't say findings, but it was say things that we need to look at and address a little closer, and those things will be addressed. Again, we've worked with, our auditor is Ginger Irons, and she's always been a pleasure to work with because she partners with us. She doesn't come in and say, this is what you're doing. This is what I'd like to see you do more. And that's what she wants us to do. So she's found some other things that we can scrutinize a little tighter and collect better information on. Even though they don't particularly look at anything beyond NCIC, her recommendations helps us across the board in how we operate. So for the most part, great findings, great interaction with her today. So that's all I've got to give you tonight.
Thank you. Rescue unit. Okay. Codes department.
A lot of work went into getting this together today. I want to thank my staff for an outstanding job. Month ended yesterday. Board of Mayor and Aldermen meeting is this afternoon, so obviously we had to compile a lot of data into a short amount of time. When I say a lot of data, I'm talking a lot. Unbelievably. So my hat's off to my staff, Dennis, April, Larry, Missy, everyone involved had to alter their way of doing things in order to get this done today. Glenn even had to step in this afternoon. Between he and Kyle, my appreciation to both of them to get this. There was a glitch in our system. It was imperative that we got all the data compiled, and then the 11th hour, the last minute of the 11th hour, we couldn't enter the data. So this is a lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into. A couple of fun facts that, to start things off with. The year in 2013, we did 60 single-family dwellings. Last year, in just the last few days, we've done near 40. So it's been busy, for obvious reasons. The monthly permits for single-family dwellings this month was 47. That being a skewed number due to the fact that a lot of these builders were attempting to circumvent the residential sprinkler requirement by getting these permits in Thursday and Friday. A couple of them were burning the midnight oil last night, and a few of us were in there this morning getting a crack at it. But a total of 47 permits were issued for the month of June 2014. 1 commercial project, 23 miscellaneous. There were 3 sign permits, 1 other permit, additions and remodels. Commercial plan review, there was 1. Total number of permits were 75 at $8 million valuation to this city. Our fees for the month were $40,131.55. Plumbing permits were 47, which stays in line with the residential permits that were pulled. Same being said for mechanical permits. Tall grass, there were 281 called in complaints. Junk cars and yards, there were 11, 74 other. Building inspections were 127. Fire inspections on the month were 27, 118 for the year. Monthly revenue with impact fees, $101,610.55. And this is where it gets interesting. The total number of single-family permits issued year-to-date are 82. We did 60 single-family dwellings last year, and we're now at 82 on the year, and we're just in June. So we've got a lot of residential inspections building to go on within the next few months. Total number of permits this year to date are 226. Anyone have any questions?
Questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Parks and Recreation.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Alderman. There are numbers for the month. We had 45,800 visitors in the park this past month. A lot of that due to BPA tournaments. 603 visitors at the Senior Center for a total of 48,473. $44,189 in money brought in. We have a Seniors Advisory Committee meeting on July 17th at 4 p.m. and a Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee meeting on July 21st at 6 p.m. We had a Great American Duck Race today, partnered with the library, and I'll let Donna speak to that a little bit more. The big thing is we have the 4th of July celebration coming up Friday. The gates open at 6. We're going to have hamburgers, hot dogs, ice cream, and a live band, same band from last year. They were great. And, of course, the fireworks show will be outstanding, and we'll try to start that somewhere between 8:30 and 9-ish, depending on how dark it is. So everybody come out. Any questions?
Okay. Thank you. Finance.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Alderman. Tonight's financial report represents 11 months into our fiscal year ending in May. For the general fund, revenues have exceeded expenditures by approximately $804,000. Local sale tax, we've collected $4,085,000. That's about $510,000 better than what we budgeted at this time, and $253,000 better than prior year. For the state street aid, expenses have exceeded revenues by approximately $437,000. Stormwater revenues have exceeded expenses by approximately $366,000. And in our water sewer fund, revenues have exceeded expenditures by approximately $1.3 million. Second page represents our balances in our various bank accounts. And the third page is a comparison to prior year. In the general fund, revenues are up $1.9 million and expenses are up $2.7 million. In the water sewer fund, revenues are up $323,000 and expenses are down $339,000. In the tap fees, up for over prior year, about $52,000. Any questions?
Thank you, Phyllis.
Thank you.
Library.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor Alderman. For the month of June, the library checked out 17,390 items. Attendance in the library, 12,171, with an average per day of 487. We issued 291 new cards. There were 31 library programs with an attendance of 1,793 and 3,441 total computer users. Our summer reading participants at this time were halfway through our summer reading, 1,148. So to say the least, the staff has been very, very busy. We did have the Great American Duck Race today. Thanks to the Parks and Rec Department, The guys came out with the plastic and the water, and I had the hose pipe, and we had ducks, and we had 139 racers. They put their ducks in the little plastic slip and slide, and the Parks and Rec Department threw the water on there, and I sprayed those ducks down, and we had a really, really good time. The Chick-fil-A cow came out, and that was fun. The cow brought his own duck, and he raced that duck down the slip and slide also. And Jonathan topped off the evening or the morning by going down the slip and slide with some Dawn detergent. So it was a fun day. Highlights of June include we had crime scene investigating family night. We really appreciate Christine Keeves of the Laverne Police Department coming out and sharing the ins and outs of investigating crime scenes. We also had Karen Patterson. She is a local archaeologist who discussed her findings of Native American lifestyles. One of the family nights that we're going to be having in July is Magic with Michael T. Family Night. Michael T. will present a magic show for the family. He is also an author, and he has written 2 books with 1 more book to come out. We have Oh Yes I Can, and Jelly Bean Soup and Grilled Candy Sandwiches. So we're asking everyone to come out to family night and enjoy listening to Michael T. talk about his books and do a little magic. And also we're going to be doing a complimentary meal before the show begins. The show starts at 6 o'clock. We're going to have hot dogs, chips, drinks, and a cookie at 5:45. So we would love for everyone to come out. Do you have any questions? Thank you.
Ms. Donna. Water treatment plant.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Alderman, Bruce. What we have is our monthly report for the month of May of this year, comparatively to May of last year. The water plant processed almost 81 million gallons of water and delivered a little over 78 million. A little bit less than last year. I guess we're just having a little bit of cooler summer. Temperatures not as hot yet. Good thing. Out of our membrane, the reclaimed water was put back into production about 7.5 million, which relates to about a little over 14,000 in savings from Metro sewer fees. Flushing began in May, so we hit, during the month of May, to hit 80 sites and flushed a little over 2 million gallons. That's just our seasonal routine flush, and we try to just freshen up everything in the line and keep everything fresh. As far as our partner with distribution, during the month of May, we bacteriologically test the new lines, and that was for the Waldron Road Station and on Near Lake Drive and Clear Lake Drive, 2-inch replacement projects. Cross connection program in the spring, I guess May starts it all off. Everybody had their backflow devices for the irrigation system stored, and a lot of them froze this past year. So they're getting a lot of having to do some repairs, or just the inspectors are having to send them back for re-inspections. Our maintenance for the month was just under $12,000. For the month, we had 13 quality calls. 9 were due to pressure complaints or just education on them. 2 were due to taste and odor, and 2 for appearance. We had no reportable accidents at the water treatment plant. Our guys went through 20 hours of in-house safety training on machine guarding was our subject for the month. And basically, that's all I have for the month.
Any questions? Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you.
Public Works.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Alderman. This is the report for the month of June. We had 69 requests to pick up brush. We picked up a total of 898 residents with 52 loads and almost 124,000 pounds carried to Murfreesboro. It's still out there. You know, we're still getting a lot of it. In the workhouse, we had 618 hours of man hours with the inmates. Mowing man hours, about 250. For the month, we had 82 work orders with 54 hours of overtime, with 30 of that being on call. Special project was the playground. All right, in Fleet Department, we had 26 vehicle repairs in-house and 8 went out. On our oil changes, we had 8 in-house and 14 at Valvoline. Just staying busy. We're starting to change our own tires and stuff there, so. And we're getting a lot of the new patrol cars in now, so thanks to Chief Lowry for the rotating balancing. That's all I got.
Any questions? Thank you, Vern. Utilities.
Mayor Alderman, good afternoon. Month of June for the Water Department, we had a total of 101 work orders, 5 new meter sets. We answered 194 Tennessee 1 calls, had 2 mainline breaks, 11 service line breaks, estimated gallons of water not sold 6,896 with 45 and a half hours overtime. Special project AMR, 903 meters set for the month. Good number there. And thanks to everybody involved helping out again. Sewer Department, 110 total work orders. 80 of those with service calls to residents, 27 pump stations. We had 3 final grinder pump inspections, and we were able to rebuild 6 in-house of those grinder pumps with a total of 63 hours overtime in the Sewer Department. And again, Project AMR sewer guys helping out.
Any questions? Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Human Resources, you don't, I will ask you at this time to please remember our Human Resource Director, Ms. Cheryl. Her brother's not doing well, so if everyone would please remember her and her family at this time. Well, I guess we'll move right into the fun stuff. Get them in. Get them lined up. Y'all come on in. They won't bite.
There's the view.
I know. I promise, these guys are harmless, guys. Well, right now, we're getting ready to do our Employee of the Month. And it is such an honor to be recognizing this young man. He gives of himself selfishly. He is loved by all. I've seen this young man in action, and he does not back down. He takes care of these citizens of Laverne, all of us, on a daily basis, and takes it to heart, his job. And it is truly an honor of this young man that I'm going to recognize tonight, and we kind of fibbed to him to get him here. I didn't do it, he did it. So, Mr. Matt Tidwell, will you please come forward? Here we get you? Yeah. The City of Laverne Certificate of Appreciation is hereby granted to Matt Tidwell for your dedication and hard work for the City of Laverne. The city hereby recognizes you as the Employee of the Month for July 2014 and thanks you for the excellent work you do for the City of Laverne. And you don't hesitate at all going in and doing whatever you have to do to take care of a citizen. And we thank you from the bottom of our heart. I love it. And we know you do. They want me to test. I passed the test once today. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, it is all of our honor to introduce to you tonight what we refer to as our Lucky 11. It is our brand-new firefighters for the city of Laverne, Tennessee. And yes, I've learned their names, but I'm going to cheat because we're on TV. So they made me test today. But no. But we're going to introduce them one at a time, and it is a true honor to introduce these young men. Yeah, you almost forgot him.
You're 12.
That's right. So, but there's still we're going lucky 12. We did add one. And at this time, we'd like to introduce to you firefighter Zach Kirsch. Y'all, come on. Next, firefighter J. Will Pewitt. Firefighter Timothy Cole. Firefighter Josh Earp. Firefighter Sam Christopher. And they do have nicknames. That's Babyface.
Sorry, Sam.
Sorry. Micah Michoto. Firefighter Shane Richardson. Better known to me as Sean, because I called him Sean all day. Firefighter Matt Henry. Firefighter David McAllister, better known as Matt. Firefighter Tyler Spain. Firefighter Chad Winooski. He's ski, okay? He's ski. And last but certainly not least, firefighter Josh Dixon. You'll be happy to know with the new firefighters, within a few weeks, they will actually be going to the traditional 24-48 schedule, which now they're working 48-48. So with the new manpower and everything that we're doing now, with the same monies that we were paying for the privately owned fire department. And we have the additional men and the additional going to the 3 shifts now. So we're very, very proud of the work that the chiefs have done here, their lieutenants, and everybody that's involved with this fire department. It's something that this city is certainly very, very proud of. And thank you, gentlemen, for choosing us to be your home. Thank you. Keep this as a souvenir. Thank y'all. All right. Get down to old business. Old business, second reading, ordinance 2014-11, an ordinance to amend the 2013-2014 fiscal year general fund budget.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Second reading, ordinance 2014-12, an ordinance to amend the 2013-2014 fiscal year state street aid fund budget. motion to approve or to deny?
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Second reading, ordinance 2014-13, an ordinance to amend the 2013-2014 fiscal year senior citizens fund budget.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Number 7, second reading, ordinance 2014-14, an ordinance to amend the 2013-2014 fiscal year grants fund budget.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, we have the consent agenda items. We discussed those in great detail at the workshop. Do I have a motion to approve or to deny the consent agenda items?
Motion to approve.
I have a
Second.
motion to approve.
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Number 9, motion to approve the Economic Development Advisory Committee, one term expired, that was Mr. Danny Jones. Danny does wish to stay on the Economic Development Board, and I make a motion to keep Mr. Danny Jones on the Economic Development Board. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Excuse me. Number 10, first reading, ordinance 2014-15, an ordinance to amend the City of Laverne zoning ordinance by changing the official zoning map for tax map 29, parcel 20, consisted of approximately 63.25 acres located along Blair Road from an I-2 heavy industrial zoning district to a PDR planned density residential and R3 high-density residential zoning district, and approve the concept plan for the Blair Road Apartments development. I will say this right now, I did have pamphlets up here if anyone did not get those. Again, we're just making sure that y'all understand what I-2s are. That's our job, to make sure you understand all the zoning. We have handed those out. I hope y'all reviewed over those. We did, Ms. Parker asked some very, very good questions regarding the zonings that honestly I did not know until I looked it up. This all started back in 1983. That's also in those packets. So if anybody, I hope we've addressed when it started, how it started, and how it got to where we are today. That's all the information that we have, because a lot of this was done back in 83 and 86. But that we do have packets up there. Anybody, if you did not get one and you need one, we will stay after and make you those packets as well. But I just wanted to make sure that that information was available to you. So at this time, I will entertain a motion to approve or to deny, and then we can open it up for this board's discussion.
I'll make a motion to deny it.
Okay, I have a motion to deny. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, I have a second. This is a motion to deny. I will now open it up for discussion.
I was quiet the other night, taking it all in. I wouldn't want another apartment anywhere in town. I'm going to be honest. I've asked for quality, not quantity. And I don't think Blair Road, coming from being on the ambulance, I don't think it can handle the traffic. I've been driving it for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, we went out there as well.
Just in the mornings. It cannot handle it. People come, because you avoid the I-24 that blocks off every day. You got people going to Franklin, they shoot down through there. I-24 backs up to Waldron Road every day. I don't think it's, unless we can make a 4-lane highway through there, I don't think you can handle it right now.
And, I mean, those are good points. My main concern is I wanted everybody to understand it was an industrial zone
I mean,
right
and
out there in
and
the
I've made
middle
it
of
clear, I
all
won't,
this. Mhm.
it's I-3 or 2, whatever. I'll fight to keep the apartments out, but if somebody else wants to bring something industrial there, I can't stand up.
And that's,
Because it is what it is now.
yeah.
And, you know, nobody has came forward and said, I want the apartments. All I've heard is opposition.
And I agree.
And I would be fighting for it if it was coming across the street from me, so I've got to fight for them.
And I will say, in these packets, I know it's a lot of information and you haven't had time to review over it. This land was originally R3 to begin with. It was rezoned by the same man owned it. It was an R3 and did have it an R3 and had it rezoned to I2 in 1999. So that's also in the packet. I know y'all haven't had time to look through all those packets, but that is all in there as well.
I mean, I fought to keep an I-2 from going to I-3.
Yep.
You know,
Well,
if it was coming across the street from me, I wouldn't want it, but that would be the lesser of two evils for me, is to have you know, I wouldn't want the industrial. But like I said, nobody has came forward and said they want it, other than the developers, so I got to go with what the people want.
Well, I spent some time out there this afternoon, and I agree with Chris. It is bad, very bad. So I think I'm like him, you know? We would have to do a whole lot of work to that place, and I don't know how in the world we could make it any larger. So it is not good at all out there.
And I'm comfortable because my main concern was them understanding I-2s. I want you to understand I-2s. I've done that. We've made packets available. That is our job. We've got to make sure they understand each of the zoning, because a lot of people don't understand. I was on the zoning appeals for years, so I understand zoning. And a lot of them didn't understand. I'm comfortable that they understand what an I-2 is. I mean, I've been on the phone today. I've received a lot of emails today. As long as they understand what I-2 is when something goes, we can't stop it if it's on that list for I-2. And I want that understood, and I think we've done that. We've done our due diligence to make sure they understand the different zonings and what can go in those zonings. And I'm happy. I wouldn't be happy if they didn't know. I would not be comfortable. And a lot of them have shown up, but like I said, I've emailed it and emailed it and emailed it to different ones, what can go in I-2 zones, which encompasses a great deal of stuff. But that has been, it is out there. And so that's...
I mean, I agree. I think R3 is the lesser of the evils if something has to go in out there, but that's not what they want. And like I said, nobody has came forward and said they want this.
So.
If I could get anybody that argued for it.
And I
then
did pass out the booklets too. I know there were some booklets out there. I don't know if several of you had the opportunity to look at them. But we did everything we could to get the information out for them to look at. So. Any other questions, comments?
I agree completely. I mean, we said Thursday, the problem is the traffic out there, as it is right now. So I agree with that. I will say some of the other things that were brought up, I think there is a need. Laverne, Smyrna, wherever you're at, for apartment complexes. And I do think this is a quality concept anyway. Having said that, I don't think, as it sits right now, that road could handle. And I disagree totally with the traffic study I did at the Planning Commission. 504.
Well, I made them copies of that as well. So everybody has a copy of the traffic study as well. So they're acting on accurate information, because I did make the packets for those as well.
And I'll agree. If I was moving into an apartment complex, that would have been the one I don't want to move into. But like I said, it's just not what people want.
Well, also in the packet, on the rezonings, even back then, they were talking about the road back then. That's in there as well. And I've highlighted it on mine. If anybody wants to come up and look at mine, you can highlight yours where you can flip through it quickly. But it mentioned the road back then as well. So.
Can I say one more thing too?
Absolutely.
I think eventually we know the growth is going to be on the other side of the 24 and right there. So I do think that while there may be some burden on the developers, I think there's some burden on the city to see what we can do in the future as far as Blair Road goes.
Absolutely. Okay, do we have any other comments? Okay, we do have a motion to deny by Vice Mayor. We have a second by Alderman Green. We will do a roll call. Alderman Green? Okay, you're voting?
No.
No, okay.
I'm voting what?
Tonight.
Okay,
To
the
deny.
I
motion
do
to deny.
deny, yes.
Okay, so you will be voting aye.
Aye.
Okay, I want to make sure everybody's clear. This is a motion to deny. So,
Aye.
Aye.
and I vote aye. Motion carries. Okay.
We got some happy
Okay, moving right along. Resolution 2014-20, an initial resolution authorizing the assurance of not to exceed $750,000 general obligation bonds of the city of Laverne, Tennessee.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Resolution 2014-21, a resolution, one, authorizing the insurance of not to exceed $2,690,000 in aggregate principal amount of general obligation refunding and improvement bonds of the city of Laverne. Two, making provision for the assurance, sale, and payment of said bonds. Three, establishing the terms thereof and the disposition of proceeds therefrom. And four, providing the levy of taxes for the payment of the principal of premium, if any, and interest on bonds.
Could you repeat that?
Yeah, would you read that again, please?
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 2014-22, a resolution, one, authorizing the insurance of approximately $6,850,000 in aggregate principal amount of water and sewer revenue and tax refunding bonds of the city of Laverne, Tennessee. Two, making provision for the insurance, sale, and payment of said bonds. Three, establishing the terms thereof and the disposition of proceeds therefrom. And four, providing for the levy of taxes for the payment of principal of premium, if any, and interest of bonds.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
2 seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Motion to approve number 2 to the sewage treatment agreement between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County and the city of Laverne.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Number 15, motion to approve a development agreement between the City of Laverne and Walmart Real Estate Business Trust for public improvements on Fergus Road.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion to approve and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Number 16, motion to approve a request from Scott and Ritter and Company Incorporated for the City of Laverne to approve a change order for the Waldron Road Pump Station.
Motion to deny.
Okay? I have a motion to deny. Do I have a second? Okay?
Second.
Okay, I have a second. I am going to open this up for
I
discussion.
should have changed that.
Huh?
I wanted it to be, from what I understood the other night, there was, 20 days that was questionable. They said they might have brought up. I'd be willing to give them that since there's no proof.
But that's what we were
The
going to
rest of it,
discuss.
I'm sorry, but there was ample opportunity. From what I understood, the only thing that there was even a question about was, you know, they're saying this, somebody else is saying this, there's no proof. Everything else has proof. So I'd be willing to give them the 20 days or whatever it was. But any more than that, I'm not, because it was a contract.
And I have to agree, because we do have a good product, and it is functioning beautifully. But that's why we put this in there, because we
So
don't want people to just say, we can take as long as we want
I
to
guess I
take.
need to change my motion.
You would need to withdraw it, and then
Okay.
the second, Alderman Waldron's second, would then need to be withdrawn.
Okay, I guess I'll withdraw that
Okay?
I withdraw my
Okay.
second.
and let Bill speak for a minute.
Okay,
And figure
yes.
out what it was.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact date.
Exactly.
Board of Mayor and Alderman, let me update you on what's happened since Thursday.
Okay.
This change order has two items. One was not discussed the other night. The items on the left, the price, the original bid included 225 cubic yards of rock that was needed if we found poor soils. When they started digging the footers, we did not find poor soils, so that it becomes a deduct. So you can see that amounts to $5,737.50. That comes off the contract price. There's no controversy on that, that's a fact. But we did not discuss it the other night. What we did discuss the other night was the time. Their contract was up March 20th. They completed the project and it's running well, and they completed the project 59 days late. And the contract that they bid on and signed and everybody else bid on was $500 a day liquidated damages. And that amounts to $29,500. And you heard them say the other night, they had this problem, they had that problem, and so forth. And I think the board is very courteous in letting them have their say. And you saw me stand here and say, have you got anything else to say? And he brought something else up. And then you saw me ask him the second time, have you got anything else to say? And he said no. So I think the board gave them ample opportunity to present their case. The city manager yesterday asked me to see if what their reaction would be if the city granted them 30 days extra, which would leave them 29 days late. And so they're 29 days late, they would pay a liquidated damage of $14,500. They talked about it among themselves. They called me back today and said, we'd really like it to be full 59 days, but if the city offers us 30 days, we'll take it. And so that's why that date is left blank on the right, because I didn't know what to put in there. You still got the same options you had the other day. You can offer them 0 days, and I think you're well within your rights. And I believe the city attorney's there shaking his head, yes. You can grant them the full 59 days, or you can grant anything in between. But 30 days may be consistent with what you said. So
I can't just let them go on nothing.
I agree.
No.
They bid on it. I mean,
Exactly right.
you bid to build me something and you don't get it done in time, I don't get money, you know. I'll still pay for it.
The liquidated damage issue is common in all contracts. If we did not have any liquidated damages, there are some contractors out there that would never finish. Now, I'm not saying Scott Ritter's one of them, but there are some that would never finish. If the liquidated damages was $10 a day, they'd laugh at that. But at the same time, we can't be unreasonable. That's why we don't see $1 million a day liquidated damages. So the burden's on us in the city to be somewhat reasonable. And the reason you put in liquidated damages is because you have to do that on the front end before the project's ever bid, and that's not the same as actual damages incurred. If we had to figure actual damages incurred, that becomes a huge quagmire and hard to measure and hard to prove. But $500 a day is a generally well-established liquidated damages. So I'm not ashamed of the $500 a day. I wish they had finished on time, but if the board gives them 30 days by this change order, then they'll still be liable for 29 days at $500 a day. But the choice is strictly yours.
I mean, I don't want to set a precedent of giving away money and letting people think they can take as long as they want.
Correct.
You know, the most I'm willing to give is 20, because that's what I heard the other night, not 30.
The choice is strictly yours.
So that'd be the most I'd be willing to give up is 20 days. I mean, I'd be fine with a 0, but they are doing other work for us.
Doing other work for us, they put in a quality
So-
project. Again, I'm not going to bicker over 20 or 30 days. I think it's fair to meet them in the middle, So if you want to make your motion,
I'll make it to give them 20 days off of it. So they owe us for 39 days.
Okay, do I have a second?
second.
How much is that? 500 times what?
Well, that would leave 39 days at $500 a day. That would be $19,500, I believe.
That's giving them a break.
Okay. So I have a motion to give them 20 days. Did I get a second?
Second.
Got a second? Hey, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Number 17, first reading, ordinance 2014-16, an ordinance to rescind ordinance 2013-16 and delete Title 11, Chapter 6, Section 11604 of the Laverne Municipal Code regarding ephedrine control.
I'll make a motion to approve it. I don't like it, but I don't have no choice.
I know. I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Number 18, motion to approve an application for a roadblock to be conducted for Tenacious Teens for Christ, Inc., DBA Man Up Against Bullying, from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. on the July the 19th, 2014, with a rain date of July 26, 2014, at the intersection of Murfreesboro Road and Stones River Road. Did we ever
Find out anything about
and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there was at least 2 weekends these people were doing roadblocks right down at Kentucky Fried Chicken and had to be asked to leave without, because then they were told they had to have permits.
I don't know anything about that, but they did respond to our request for more information, and they did say that the funds raised from the roadblock would be utilized to support the youth and families from Laverne. This is in the very last page of your package, the email that they sent back. Funds will help youth and families from Laverne be able to attend the Tennessee Back to School Anti-Bullying Rally and assist with supplies that will be given to attendees from Laverne. So they are saying that the funds will help people from Laverne. So ultimately it's up to this board.
But here's my thing,
What's it
none of
helping?
the police officers, Cherie, Officer Robertson, who is active in the schools with all these programs, I don't think anybody's ever heard of these programs. So my question is, where are they helping our children? Number one. And I have a real hard time believing that somebody from Spring Hill is gonna come to Laverne and help Laverne kids. That's just me. You know, I mean, and everybody knows I'll stand out on that street for our own kids myself.
I'll make a motion to deny it,
Okay?
because I don't know anything about them.
And I think they would be here tonight and if they were that interested in our children. And I'll second that motion. So we have a motion to deny and a second. All those in favor of denial?
Aye.
Aye. All right, we're down to mayor and alderman comments. We'll start with you, Alderman Green.
I really don't have anything. I'm looking forward to the July the 4th because it was so much fun last time. I know it will be this time.
We'll have a blast.
And I'm hoping that all the kids that get these fireworks are very careful with them because they are dangerous.
Yes.
They are. And they scare the little dogs to death.
Vice Mayor,
No, I'm gonna hold off.
got nothing?
I'm just gonna hold off tonight.
Okay. Just Alderman Walker?
Good.
Just, didn't wear my
Good
suit
dog.
tonight. I took it to the cleaners and got to pick it up, so I couldn't go naked, so I had to wear something. And, wishing everybody a happy 4th and a safe 4th. And I hated for the U.S. to get out of the World Cup. And that's it.
All I have is I'm glad you didn't come naked.
Oh.
says, please show up to the fort for the fireworks. And there'll be fireworks in the air, not up here. Thank everybody for coming out tonight. We always love to see the room full. And after I close the meeting, we'll be happy to step here and talk with you. I call this meeting adjourned.